Alright, this might be a bit close for comfort, but I'm in the car, windows up, boots down, boot lids down. I've got some music queued up. It is royalty free, so it's not going to be like ultra bassy, but it's the best with what I can got, so you can hear it. I got my dB meter, so this is completely stock system with the Bose subs. So I won't be able to talk, obviously, you won't be able to hear me, so I'm going to play it. I'm going to get it to a good volume where it's not distorting, but it's about as loud as it can go. And then we'll just use that same volume to do the sub comparison after we put the new one in. Okay, so I think I saw 86 dB on the meter there. I've got it at volume 30. I'm going to play a different song. I'll put some, you're not going to be able to hear it because it's not royalty free. So we'll get that cranking. It's a bass, like a heavy bass patrol. Not that I listen to that too often, but it's only just to test stuff. So we'll put this one. All right, so I maxed that out. I think this Bass Patrol stuff, the download is not as volume as the other one. So we'll do the royalty-free music at volume 30 and this Bass Patrol song at volume 40. And I just saw, I'll go back in the video, I can't remember what it was, but I think I saw 87, which is close to what it was with the royalty-free music. That was 86, I think. So anyway, we're not looking for a dB increase. We're looking more for bass increase at lower volume. It's never going to win any type of awards for volume. So I'm still waiting on the sub. I haven't got the sub yet. I can actually hear someone in my driveway now. This way, boys. Come and have a look in here. Look in here. Well, that was good timing. Be back in a minute. How you going? How are you?
Good. Matthew?
Yes, that's me.
Right.
Thanks, mate. Catch up.
Yeah.
See ya. There we go. Anyway, that was, couldn't have timed that any better. That worked out really well. Let's have a look. Oh. So really, we just got to remember 80, 86 dB, 87 dB. I don't know how you would test for actual increase in bass, whether that is what the dB is. I can't imagine it being much more than that, because we're not changing any of the other speakers. Double box for my protection. There we go. That's pretty cool. I'll put this on the ground because I'm going to drop it. There we go. All right. Put rubbish over here. User manual. Oh, it's got a bit of weight to it. That's good. Wiring diagram, and that's it. It's definitely heavier than the Bose one, that's for sure. That's pretty sure that's metal. The Bose one's just plastic. All right. Oh, that's the base or the controller that goes in the car. That's your remote to that'll be one of the last things that goes in. All right, so like I said in the video, I want to run the wire outside the car, get this connected and working, and then once it's all working and I know it's good, worth doing, then we'll run the wire inside. So it's a 12-inch, 20 ohm, 150 watt RMS. If that makes any sense, yeah. So it's not the most powerful thing in the world, but it can't be, because it's only, yeah. Anyway, it'll do what it'll do what it does. So yeah, now that we got the baseline of what the old sub can do, I'll go now and just tear all this out. We'll get the Bose out of there and get this sitting in there, kind of, and just dummy wire it up with what I've got, and turn her on, make sure she's all sweet, and then we'll go through and hide the wires, run the wires through properly. I have no clue how I'm going to do that. I really don't want to go pulling trim off, but I may have to. I'm not sure yet. So yeah, we'll see how we go. But anyway, let me get this hooked up, kind of, and we'll get back to you. I'm not going to do time lapses. I'm not going to do step by steps. I don't even know what I'm doing. I'm just going to have to read instructions, look at wires, and see what needs connecting. So it's definitely by no means a how-to on how to do it. So when I come to a certain point, I'll crank the camera back on and just have a talk about what we've done. But anyway, let's rip this to pieces. All right, I've gone ahead a bit and done a bit extra. I got halfway through, like, dummying in the red wire, and I was like, let's just run it. I'm pretty sure that's a grommet. We're going to go for it. I'll slip in some photos. You're definitely not going to see it with this camera. Just there's no light and it won't focus on close-up things. But anyway, we've got the that's that little wire that we made up the other day. I haven't secured anything yet, and it's not connected. And now I've lost the other wire. Yeah, where's my? There it is. It's just falling down. There's just no room to work here. So that's it there. So it's got the nice braid, the ferrule on the end. This braid actually goes into the car through that grommet and probably about 150, 200 mil into the car, or maybe about 150 mil in the car. But I'm not connecting that up yet because I've been running all the other wires. So, this is, yeah. I had to take pretty much the battery out, trying not to lose that. This cover had to come off. It's like 4 or 5 clips that comes off. Then we're going to zip tie everything down. You definitely don't want this positive wire rubbing on top of that, so that's why you want to make sure it's all zip tied down nicely. And then it just runs under the kick panel, in there, kind of behind some panels, and then pops out kind of here through there. And now I'm just putting Dean's whatever they are. I can't remember what they're called. Caravan. They're not Dean's connectors. Anderson connectors. So yeah, that'll go on power and earth. I've got to put a ring terminal. I've just went and got them from the shed, so I've got a pack of them. Find out which one we want to use, and we'll probably, that actually looks like it's insulated, so I might just go to one of these here. They look like they go through the chassis, so or through this brace here. So I'll just take one of them off, scrub some metal up, and then put a ring terminal on that, and then put it on there, screw it back together. Then I've got the Anderson connector on that's the sub end that connects into the sub. So that's all ready to go. Next thing now is to figure out which wires here do what. So this is what fed the old sub. So we're going to use high input into this, which you can do through these wires, I suppose it is. I don't know if you need all 4 of them. Yeah, so there's 2 sets here, I think. Hang on. So we've got RCA, which we're not going to use, just because I'm pretty sure there's no RCAs in this car. That's an RCA. So yeah, we want this. So there's 4 sets of wires there. No, so blue is remote turn on, which we're not going to use either because it gets the signal through this. So yeah, we just need these 4 wires here. And there's 4 wires here. So positive, negative, positive, negative. I don't know why it needs 2. It probably, that way if you've got your fader on left or right, you don't connect it to the one with, it just balances it out, I suppose. I don't know. I'm going to have to figure out. What I'm going to do actually is open up the old Bose sub, open up this Bose sub, and then have a look at each speaker and see what colour wires is on each speaker. And that way I know that's a positive negative pair, and then I can connect it. I'm going to cut this. I have no need for this, but what I will do is probably cut it back here, just in case if you ever want to rejoin it, you can. But I'll cut it back here and then keep this plug. But I'll probably never use it, so we're all good there. And that's it. So I'll get back to you then. Actually hasn't taken that long. So yeah, we're almost there. It's smaller. It's heavier, but it's smaller than the old one. So plenty of room in there. And I didn't even have to cut any of the red wire. That was the perfect amount. There's a bit of slack there, but that's a perfect amount. 5 meters to run through the car. So yeah, so next time I catch up with you guys, this will all be up and running. I think, fingers crossed, hope. Let's touch wood, whatever. Anyway, we'll see you then. All right, so all done. Easy as, actually. I don't even know what the time is, but that was probably it's 12:15. So let's say 3 hours. 9:30, 2.5 hours. Not bad. Yeah, pretty good. It's all done, all wired in. I just took, it's outside now, but I took the Bose one apart so I could figure out what colour was positive and negative to each sub, because there was 2 subs in the Bose ones. So I figured out which one was positive and negative, soldered it to that. That's all soldered up. That's all the power's all crimped, all done nice. That wire that you can see there, heading over there, that is for the controller. So I'll probably keep that with me in the front of the car there for a little bit until it gets dialed in, and then eventually it'll get stored in here somewhere. It's not something you're going to have to play with all the time. I could even just leave it behind the seat or just in the corner of the boot somewhere if you just wanted to reach over and turn the bass down for whatever reason, but I don't think it's something you're really going to play with. So once you get it dialed in, listen to a heap of different music, and once you find yourself barely touching it, then that's kind of the sign to go and bury that, and you're pretty happy with all of it there. So I'll put a picture in already. Sorry, yeah, I've closed the bonnet, but that's all done. Wires are all hidden, and she's all good. And it uses the original hold down big thing there to hold it down. So that's really nice, and I've cranked on that quite a bit to tighten it right up. And yeah, so she's all nicely tied. It's not going anywhere. So I'm going to put the boot back together. I'll put all the trim pieces back in now, all the floor and everything, and we'll go for a drive and yeah, have a look at that and see how she goes with that. So the battery, I've just noticed the battery light come on because I've just been playing with it a little bit. Sounds really good. Way different, absolutely way different. And I've only got it on like a quarter or a half, so it's got more to give. But I think where it's at now is pretty close. But we'll go for a drive, dial it in a bit more, and see how we go. But yeah, I've just got to clean all this up. That way, and I'll move all this out. I've cleaned that. That way, once I come back, I can put my white car in as well, and I don't have to go in and out. So, all right, let's go for a drive. Okay, pretty cool. I just had a quick shot. So that Bass Patrol song that I could crank to 40 last time, I can only get it to 25 now before we start getting white. It's just stupid bass, and I'm peaking out at 90 instead of, I think it was 86 or something before. So we've doubled the volume. I think every 3 dB you're doubling your volume, something like that. So yeah, I'll just crank it up now so you can hear it. Yeah, so if we find this other song, this is the royalty-free one. I think this was getting about 86 as well. Oh wow. $89, $90. Yeah, so significantly louder. So that's pretty cool, and it sounds so much nicer. There's actually a bit of bottom end in it now, so that's pretty cool. I'll go for a quick drive. I will wrap it up when I get back, and I'm just going to play a few different songs while we're driving, try it out, and we'll go from there. I'm pretty happy with it. 2.5 hours to install it, really easy. So yeah, no drama. So I've just got to play with this little, the little remote now. And that's all we can do, easy as. So yeah, pretty happy with that. So I'll see you when we get back. All right, so that was a winner. That sounds really good. That sounds how it should sound. Really, they should have just put a better sub in there. Even half as much as what this one is, this new one. If they'd gone with that, it would have sounded really good. But this sounds next level. Sounds really good. You can see there it's shaking the mirror. That's at quite loud volume. I'd probably never listen to it that loud. Even at lower volume, it still rattles it a little bit. But it just fills in the bottom end, makes it sound really good. So happy with that. Even I was driving around quite loud, and I was like, I don't really use it at this volume, so I turned it down to my normal volume. Played with that little thing for put about 4 or 5 songs on, and dialed it in a little bit. And I think where I got it, I'm pretty happy with it. So it's probably going to stay where it is. But I'll leave that little dial thing out, the adjuster. It's got gain, low pass filter, and bass boost. So it's got 3 dials and a 0 and 180 phase reverser for the sub. So I've got it pretty good. I'll leave it out for a couple more weeks, and then once I stop playing with it, like I said, I'll tuck it in the boot. And then when I do that, when I do get rid of it and put it in the boot, what I'll do is I'll pull all that wiring that I've just done, I'll pull all that out in the boot, and I'll make a nice harness for it. I'll wrap it up or put it in that nice conduit. I didn't want to do that straight away because you might get some noise coming through the sub. If you've got the signal wires and the power wires very close to each other, so which I have. I didn't notice any noise, but you might get some, just depends. I got a pretty good earth, so I think if you got a decent earth, and you kind of negate that, but sometimes you can get it. So I didn't want to go putting anything in a harness. You probably saw from that photo that all the wires were loose. They're kind of neat, but they're loose. So yeah, once I know that I'm not getting any interference or any clicking, buzzing noises or anything like that, then I'll just I'll keep them exactly how they are, and loom them up and bundle them, and wrap them up in either that Tessa tape or that other conduit with the nylon split conduit, and we'll go from there. And then that should protect it, and also keep it nice looking. So should be good. The other Bose sub's going to go in the bin. I'm not even going to bother keeping that. Nobody's going to be looking for them in 20 years' time to go, oh, they sounded really good, you know. So yeah, I'm not even going to bother with that. I'll rob the screws out of it, and that's about all it's worth. That. But yeah, very happy with that. That sounds really good. So I think we'll call it there. So started at 9:30. It's currently 1 o'clock, and that includes going for a drive, testing it, all that. It was 2.5 hours to install. I've never done one before. I've run subs before, but not like a spare tyre, and I've never run a wire on a brand new car like that either. So it's not hard to do. It's not worth paying $600 for, that's for sure. Especially if you can get the sub on a deal like I did. All in $600. I think it was $520 for the sub delivered, and then another $40 or $50. I think it was $45 for the wire, and $20. I did put the screenshots up in the last video. You can add it all up there. So yeah, it was about $45 for the wire, $20. I think it was $20 for the breaker. Obviously, I've got tools. If you don't have tools, then maybe that's when it's worth paying someone else to do it, because otherwise you're going to have to go and spend hundreds of dollars on, the crimpers and the jack crimpers, the 1.3 ton one, and then also the crimper for the ferrules. You need to buy the ferrules, you need to buy this, you need to buy that. So if you don't have anything, those Dean's connectors are like $20 a pair. So or Anderson plugs, whatever they're called. I get them from AliExpress, $20. I get like 10 pairs. But if you had to go to the shops here and buy it, that's when it's going to add up. So I mean, if you didn't have any of the tools, you're probably not going to give it a shot anyway, because you're not that way inclined. But I mean, if you've got all the gear half confident, it's not hard to do. So yeah, give it a bash. The worst you can do is blow a fuse. That's all you're going to do. As long as you put the fuse up near the battery, that's your main one. So then that way, from the battery to the boot, if that wire rubs on anything and wears through and shorts out, you can't burn your car down, because it'll just short and then pop the breaker. So that's the important one. Once you've got that in, you're sweet. You don't need any more fuses anywhere else. There's no need for it. And that's only a 30 amp. 30 amps going to, it's the smallest spark, and boom, you blow the breaker, and it's done and dusted, fires out. Well, not you wouldn't even get to that stage. So that's your main one. As long as you understand that you do need a fuse right near where the battery is. There's no good putting it down near the sub, because then from the back of your fuse all the way to the battery is unprotected. So that's what you got to remember, is anything from the fuse onwards is protected. From the back of the fuse to the battery is unprotected. So that wire that you saw me make up the other day, it's about 8 inches long. That's unprotected, and that's why you zip tie it so it cannot move. So and I've put extra insulation on that as well, not just what's in the wire. I've put that extra nylon insulation. Then I've zip tied the fuse, and then from then on it's protected anyway. So, but I've still put nylon braid from there to the firewall, and then pretty much from there on it's not moving. It's tucked in so tight under trim and stuff like that. It's not going anywhere. So, but it's protected anyway. So all good. So yeah, anyway, very happy with that. That's a great little thing for $600. That'll definitely improve. That's not just for that car. You can put that in any car, and it's going to be. I wouldn't say it's near what I've got in the Commodore. The Commodore is a 12-inch, 650 watt Rockford Fosgate P3 punch and full Alpine system. That's a little bit different. If you've just got a stock system and you want to add some bass, that's perfect. If you want to go next level, then you're going to need a box, 12-inch sub, big amp, and change all your speakers inside and amplify them as well. So that's the thing. And you can't just go and get it. Like if I were to put that P3 sub out of my Commodore at 600, and I'm supplying 600 watts to it into my Nissan, it'll just sound stupid, because it'll just be so much bass and the other speakers wouldn't be able to keep up. So I've only got the gain on just under half on this one, so it's not necessary. You don't need a bigger sub's not going to make anything sound any better. You've got to get the sub that suits your system. So even a little 8-inch would go all right in that. I reckon that'll be fine. And because it's in the cabin with you, it's not in a boot with seats separating you from the sub. It's half a metre from your ears in the same cabin, so you don't need a massive sub in a coupe like that. But yeah, in a normal Commodore, Falcon, normal sedan, Camry, whatever, one of them in your spare tyre would go Mickey Mouse. It'd really complement it, just fill in the bottom end a bit. Really good. So anyway, we'll leave it at that. It's very hot out here. I'm going to go have some lunch, and we'll call it. And cheers for the help, and we'll catch you on the next one.